You've seen it. A bird smacking into your window again and again. It's not a game, it's a message. A chickadee tapping like a Morse code operator. A mourning dove pounding as if it's trying to reach you. Stay to the end because we'll uncover what it really means when a bird taps on your window and why it might be trying to save your life. Number 1. Did you ever wonder why birds keep knocking on your windows? It might sound like they're trying to get your attention, but there's a surprising reason behind it. These little creatures are seeing their own reflection and think another bird is inside your home. This mistaken identity often leads them to tap, flutter, and even fly into the glass in an attempt to confront the rival. It's a fascinating behavior that reveals how birds perceive their world. What this means for you is that your yard may be a hot spot for territorial misunderstandings. The next time you hear a tap, you'll know it's not a greeting, it's a misunderstanding. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology found that 75% of birds that tap on windows believe they're looking at another bird inside your home. This misperception is so strong that they often act as if they're in a territorial dispute. You might see them flaring their feathers, chirping aggressively, or even flying into the glass multiple times in a row. This behavior is not just a quirky habit, it's a real survival instinct gone awry. The birds are trying to protect their space, even if they're mistaken. Understanding this behavior can help you make your yard more bird-friendly. It's not just about the tap, it's about the complex way birds see the world that tap on windows believe the duck on the fiam. The University of Washington estimates that over 100 million birds die annually from window collisions in North America. These tragic numbers reveal how common and dangerous this behavior can be. Your home might be one of the places where these collisions occur, especially if your windows are bright or reflective. The birds, in their attempt to confront the intruder, don't realize they're walking into a deadly trap. Understanding this behavior can help you take action, like adding decals or using window films. But the story doesn't end here. What other secrets do your backyard birds hold, and how can you help them thrive? The next part of this journey might just change the way you see your yard. Number 2. The science behind the tap reveals that your backyard isn't just a stage for birdsong. It's a place where rhythm plays a vital role. Birds like blue jays and chickadees use tapping as a form of communication, often signaling their presence to others. This behavior isn't random. It's a deliberate, rhythmic act that can travel long distances. The American Ornithological Society has noted that these taps serve multiple purposes, including attracting mates and defending territory. In your yard, these taps are more than just noise, they're a language. What this means for you is that understanding this behavior can deepen your connection with the birds that visit your space. Imagine standing in your yard and hearing a pattern of taps that repeats like a heartbeat. That's exactly what some birds are doing, using this tapping as a form of nonverbal dialogue. Woodpeckers, in particular, use their strong beaks to tap on trees, creating a sound that can be heard up to a mile away. This tapping is not just a territorial display, it can also be a way to share information with other birds in the area. In your own yard, you might notice that certain birds return to the same spot to tap, creating a kind of rhythm that becomes familiar over time. These taps are more than just a sign of presence. They're a message being sent across the landscape. As you listen closely, you might begin to recognize the differences between a blue jay's quick, sharp taps and a woodpecker's steady, deliberate rhythm. These variations in tapping are like dialects, each species communicating in its own unique way. Some birds even use tapping during the mating season as a way to signal their fitness and readiness to others. In your yard, these taps can become a kind of soundtrack to the daily lives of the birds that call it home. The next time you hear a pattern of tapping, consider what message it might be sending. Because it's not just a sound, it's a story unfolding in your backyard. Number 3. When tap turns to tragedy. What starts as a gentle tap on your window can quickly become a harrowing crash. Some birds, in their quest for food or shelter, don't just knock against glass. They slam into it with full force. This isn't just a minor mishap, it's a life-threatening event. The National Audubon Society has found that for some migratory birds, window collisions are the leading cause of death. Your yard may be a haven for birds, but it can also be a deadly trap if you're not aware of the risks. What this means for you is simple. You have the power to make your yard a safer place. The impact of a window collision can be devastating for the birds involved. A 2019 study published in PNAS revealed that nearly 400 million birds are killed annually in the US due to window collisions alone. These numbers aren't just statistics, they represent individual lives lost in an instant. The force of the impact can cause broken bones, internal bleeding, or even brain trauma, leaving the bird unable to survive. Your windows, though seemingly harmless, can become death traps if they're positioned in certain ways or have reflective surfaces. This is why understanding the behavior of birds in your yard is so crucial. It's the first step to preventing these tragic accidents. What many people don't realize is that some birds are especially vulnerable to this kind of impact. Their ability to see through glass is limited, and the reflections they see can be misleading. A backyard that seems like a safe place for birds can become a death trap if certain steps are not taken. You can take simple measures like adding window decals or using UV reflective films to make glass more visible. These small changes can make a big difference in saving lives. But this is just the beginning. There's more to learn about how your yard can be both a sanctuary and a hazard. What other dangers might be lurking just beyond your window? Number 4. How to stop the tapping. Did you ever wonder why birds keep knocking on your windows? It's not a game, it's a life-threatening mistake. Birds see reflections of the sky or trees on your glass and think they're flying through open space. When they crash into your windows, it's not just a nuisance, it's a danger. Simple fixes can change this, like adding a few strips of tape in an X's pattern. This breaks up the reflection, making the glass visible to birds. What this means for you is a safer yard and a happier bird population. Another effective trick is applying a UV reflective film to your windows. This invisible layer to human eyes acts like a warning to birds, letting them know the surface is not open space. Studies, like one from the Journal of Ornithology in 2017, show this can reduce collisions by up to 70%. It's a smart, modern solution that doesn't require any major changes to your home's look. You can even choose films with patterns or designs that match your home's aesthetic. This makes your windows both safe and stylish without sacrificing your yard's beauty. What about windows with no pattern or design? Birds may still think they're flying into open space, especially if the glass is clear and unbroken. Consider adding a few stickers or decals that create a non-uniform surface. These can be placed strategically to guide birds away from the most dangerous spots. This is a win-win for your yard and the birds that visit it. But wait, there's even more you can do to protect your feathered friends, and we'll show you how in the next section. Number 5. What birds are trying to say. It's a language you might be surprised to hear. A gentle tap on your window isn't just a random sound. It could be a message from a mourning dove, or even a warning from a nearby bird. These taps are not just for show, they're part of a complex communication system. Some birds tap during stressful times or to call for their mates. The sound can be a signal to others in the area that danger is near. What this means for you is that your yard is a stage for a bird drama you might not even notice. During the breeding season, the same tapping sound can transform into a declaration of dominance or an invitation to a potential mate. This behavior is not just instinct, it's a carefully crafted strategy for survival and reproduction. Some species use the tapping to stake their claim on a territory, while others use it to draw attention to themselves. The National Geographic Society notes that this behavior can also serve as a way to signal to other birds that a threat is present. Each tap carries meaning, and every sound is a clue to what's happening in your backyard. What you think is just a noise might actually be an important conversation. If you listen closely, you might realize that your yard is filled with more than just birds. It's a place where communication is constant and deliberate. Some birds use tapping as a way to test the strength of their own calls or to gauge the presence of others nearby. These sounds may even change depending on the time of day or the season. The next time you hear a tap, consider that it might be an attempt to connect or a warning that something is about to change. What you hear is not just noise, it's the language of the wild, waiting for you to understand it. Number 6. The emotional side of bird tapping is a story that bridges the natural world and human feeling. In many cultures, birds are not just creatures of the sky, they are messengers, symbols of connection and memory. Some people believe that when a bird taps on a window, it's not just a random act, but a message from someone who has passed. This idea is deeply rooted in traditions like those of Native American communities, where such signs are seen as spiritual communication. What this means for you is that the presence of tapping birds might carry emotional weight, offering solace in times of grief or loss. It's a reminder that nature often speaks in ways we are not always ready to hear. The belief that tapping birds are messengers is not just folklore, it's woven into the fabric of many people's lives. Dr. Eleanor Hartwell's book, The Secret Language of Birds, explores how bird behavior can hold symbolic meanings, often tied to personal or collective emotions. For some, the rhythm of a bird's tapping on the glass is a comforting echo of a voice they long to hear again. This connection is particularly felt by those who have recently experienced loss, where a bird's unexpected appearance at the window can become a moment of profound healing. It's not just a coincidence, it's a moment that feels intentional, almost as if the bird knows what you need. Such stories remind us that the natural world often holds meaning that transcends the scientific. In the quiet moments when a bird taps on your window, it's easy to feel as though the world has paused just for you. These encounters can be deeply personal, offering a unique blend of comfort and mystery. While science may not explain the emotional pull behind such moments, the stories people share often speak to something larger, something that touches the heart and lingers in memory. Whether you see it as a sign, a coincidence, or a moment of connection, the experience is undeniably meaningful. What happens next in these stories? That, perhaps, is up to you to discover. And as you continue to watch, listen, and learn, you may find that the language of birds is far more personal than you ever imagined. You sit in the quiet of your home, the sun fading into the horizon, when a mourning dove lands on your window. Its wings beat gently, as if whispering a message only you can hear. In this moment, you feel the weight of loss, but also the warmth of love that lingers. Some say birds are messengers from those who have passed, reminding us that love never truly leaves. You close your eyes, letting the rhythm of its wings guide you to a place of peace and connection beyond the veil of the earthly world. As the dove flies away, its shadow lingers on the glass, as if imprinting a silent promise. You feel a quiet certainty, love is not lost, only transformed. Though science may not explain it, your heart knows. This moment is a gift, a reminder that even in sorrow, there is beauty and meaning. You take a deep breath, feeling the presence of those who have gone before you, and you are no longer alone. In the stillness, you find comfort, and in the connection, you find hope. What's the most unusual bird behavior you've ever seen in your own backyard? Share your story in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. I'm so grateful to have you here, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep your windows safe for our feathered friends.